we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, we do. You brought it up now, so I'm just going to elaborate.
Little, like, ones that vibrate. Got me blushing now.
That's first time I've actually known you to be absolutely speechless and not come back with a straight answer straight away. That's unreal.
Hi and welcome back to Findersbeepers History Seekers, and this week just me and Andy, and we've got some really cracking questions. I've just been having a look at them and there's some really funny ones. So we all good to go, Andy?
All good. I like it not knowing these questions though. I don't even see them. Well, I see them when they come through, but I don't really read them.
Yeah, no.
Because I want a surprise.
In a way, I'd like to not be able to see them, because then it would shock me, but somebody's got to do it, so it's got to be me.
And you enjoy doing it?
You know what? I do, because I like choosing out which ones that I think are good. So yeah, I do apologise if your question's not been on. It's purely because there's just been lots and lots of questions come through, and some are just amazing, and these ones are quite good. I think these ones will get us really talking about stuff. So let's get straight into it. First one, so this is personal to us. In the abandoned buildings you visit, you seem to find a lot of sex toys. Have you ever had a sex doll, and what's your opinions on them? I'll let you answer this one.
No. That's the first answer.
I've never had one.
I've
never had one either. Not a sex doll.
Because I just don't found the appeal. To be honest, not from my own point of view. I can't see the appeal of it.
I'm the same. I'm not really. I wouldn't think, oh, you know what? I need a shag, so let's get a doll to shag. It just seems a bit odd. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm all up for sex toys. There's nothing wrong with sex toys at all. I've used a fair few of those in my time with partners, but not on. I think that's the thing. It's on your own. I think that's the difference. Like if you're shagging a sex doll.
Which ones?
What?
Which ones?
Which ones what?
Have you used?
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, we do. You brought it up now, so I'm just going to elaborate.
Little, like, ones that vibrate. Got me blushing now.
That's first time I've actually known you to be absolutely speechless and not come back with a straight answer straight away. That's unreal.
I'm a personal person that doesn't talk about his personal stuff. That's why. But yeah, there's all the ones that he used with other people, like handcuffs and like whips and
that's not a
thing. And vibratory things and stuff. But yeah, all those sorts of stuff. Not like not like a gimp mask. Yeah. I've never had a gimp mask.
No, that's just weird.
I think each for their own. I ain't got an issue with it. I wouldn't have one on myself, but I think that's because I'd feel claustrophobic.
Yeah, I won't be able to pant loud enough.
But yeah, like, have you seen some of these modern sex dolls though?
Yeah, brilliant, aren't they?
They are, technology-wise, not in like a, oh my God, I want to shag you, but in technology-wise, they're amazing. Like, they've just come on so much. I don't know why I've got... It's not sex doll related, but it's just something that's just come into my mind and I can't get it out of my head. There's a guy on a YouTube video that's got a fake arm. It's like a robotic arm almost.
Oh!
Have you seen?
Wank mode.
Yeah, he puts it on his arms going like...
He's being interviewed,
yeah,
he puts it on.
And it just like won't stop and it's constantly
that's
going.
Hilarious.
It is, and that's all I can think about. But have you ever... I don't think you watched Black Mirror, do you?
No.
There was... in fact, was it on Black Mirror? No, it was something like Black Mirror. There was basically a series, and there was a home. They all had like home help robots, and they all like did the cleaning and the cooking for them. But you could also put them in adult mode, and I just feel like that's where we're going towards now. You know, like where we're going to have like some sort of little robot thing for sex and a robot to clean your pots and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit...
Or did I see Black Mirror? Is that with them synths and she was like Oriental?
Yeah, you're on about the same thing as me, but it's not Black Mirror, but I think it's made by the same people. And like he one day just decides to use it for the adult mode, and he's like at it. Yeah. I never watched it all, and actually, it was quite good. I quite enjoyed it, but
yeah, I watched that. That were really good, and you can imagine that in the future.
I can imagine that in
exactly
like 20
that.
years, let alone the future, like proper future.
Well, in 20 years future, then.
You know what I mean? But I mean, like when you say the future, you mean like I feel like 100 years time or something. I feel like it's near future. I think it's like...
No, it's the near future.
Yeah.
Like I said, 20 years max, I think we're all going to have.
Yeah, definitely. There's...
I'll be dead by then anyways, I don't really care.
Why do you keep talking about being dead?
I don't know.
You're not going to die in the next couple of weeks. Well, you don't know at the moment, but you're not likely to die in the next couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Stop talking about it. You're only 93.
I'm only 54, but it's only 227, isn't it?
What?
I don't know. Anyway.
What did that even mean?
Still 27.
But yeah, sex toys in general, I ain't got an issue with. Sex dolls, if you want one, brill.
I ain't got an issue with it, it's just not my cup of tea.
I think it would, because I watched, in fact, I just remembered another thing I watched about it now. I watched a guy that had got a collection of them, and he sat them in his house and he talked to them and he had relationships with them and stuff like that, and he got married to one of them. And that's different.
No, that's weird. That's weird.
That's like a different level, that, innit? That's like people that have sex with their cars and stuff like that. It's just all a bit odd. But yeah, he got like one and he proper loved it, and he talked to it and stuff. Oh, it was just a bit weird. So anyway, next question. So you mentioned you were going to be on TV soon. Actually, that was... When this goes out, that will have been last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to get across onto... I can't remember what it's called.
Discovery Quest.
Yeah, Discovery Quest, but it's called Scrap Hoarders.
Scrap Kings.
Scrap Kings, yeah, we're on that anyway. So if you want to check that out, it'll be on some sort of catch-up, I'm sure. But... yeah, you mentioned you were going to be on TV soon. If you were asked to be a TV presenter, but you had to move to London for the job, would you do it? I could see you as the old version of Ant and Dec. First of all, I'm younger than both Ant and Dec, so fuck off. But also, we talked about this before, actually, personally, haven't we?
We have.
But that was different in a way because we were talking about it as a YouTuber. If you're a TV personality, would it be the same answer for you?
Yeah, being a YouTuber would be a bit different, but being a TV presenter, I still wouldn't live in central London. I hate London. I hate it with not with a passion.
I don't think many of them live in central London though, do they? They live in the places like, you know, when we've been to do the explores of the like we went to Prince Andrew's house, for example. I don't think
that's the place I'd like to live.
Even in somewhere like Notting Hill or anything like that, I wouldn't want to live, or Mayfair or whatever. I wouldn't want to live right in the centre. But somewhere further out, I could put up with it. I don't think I'd want to, but if for something like that, it's a life-changing opportunity.
That's nice and leafy, nice and quiet. Simple commute into city centre, but not in London itself, sorry.
No, and I'd be the same. But even people like, for example, Joe Weller, big YouTuber, he's done Sky Sports and things like that as well on telly. He lives in Brighton or Eastbourne or somewhere around there. I think it's Brighton still he lives.
Yeah.
So it's further away, it's out, but it's still easy to get in. I think I'd do that. I'd live somewhere like Brighton or somewhere just a bit further away. I think that'd be better.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a city person at all. I like me a bit of countryside nearby. It's a bit quieter.
You see, I was brought up in the city in Sheffield, but it's close enough to the countryside that you can just go off, piss off, and go into the countryside and enjoy yourself there. And I think Sheffield's different to a lot of cities. It's not like Birmingham or Manchester. If you live near the centre of them, then they're horrible. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, even though I lived in an horrible estate, I don't think that it were awful living in Sheffield.
That's because you're used to it, though, isn't it? Because if you're born and bred in there, that's your general day-to-day normal life. So it's being brought up, you get used to the surroundings. But you wouldn't move there now, though, would you? You wouldn't say, oh.
No, there's no way I'd move back to, especially where I lived when I was growing up. My mum and dad still live there, and I hated that they lived there, but they're still used to it. Whereas I live now in a village for 17 years, and I'm used to living here now. So, but there is parts of Sheffield, like I'd move back to say Outerbridge or Grenoside in Sheffield because it's a bit more sort of nice.
Strines,
Strines is Sheffield just about, but it's like miles on edge. It's like almost in Derbyshire. But yeah, I could see us being like Ant and Dec though. I'd love to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're good.
That you would enjoy.
Yeah, I would actually. I'd love to do that. Something silly.
Do you think that the pressures are worse than you think though?
Yeah, I think they are sometimes. I don't think you've actually got a life, to be honest. I think you're always going to be in the spotlight. But then again, that's what you get for being famous, isn't it? You can't have a normal life. You're going to have paparazzi all over the place, photographers. You're going to have people coming up to you and wanting yours. You're never going to have you can't just, I'm just going to nip to McDonald's for a takeaway or for drive-through or anything like that. It just wouldn't happen because you'd be swarmed, especially if you were that famous. Yeah. So there's pros and cons to being famous, I think.
Because, don't get me wrong, we're tiny. We're like 7,000 subscribers or whatever, but we still do occasionally get people coming up to us and saying, "Oh, you're Matt," or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like we had the person at the petrol station. I don't. It's always me. But yeah, that woman at the petrol station that lives quite near you.
But nobody ever comes up to me and says, "Hi, you're Matt." I went, "No, he's the other one." That's when you know there's something wrong.
When they're getting us mixed up, there is still people that I talk to that go, "Is it Matt or Andy I'm speaking to?" And then they go, "Are you the one with the hat?" I'm like, "Well, I only wear hat in like pictures, like the cartoon picture. I don't wear the hat all day long every day. Just like I very rarely wear it.
Just like Ant and Dec, nobody knows which one of them is, isn't it? Which one's Ant, which one's Dec?
I'm not quite sure. I've literally watched Ant and Dec since they were in Biker Grove when I think they're about 4 years older than me. And I will have been about 13, 12 when they were about 16 or 17. And I used to watch them in that. And then I've watched them on breakfast TV growing up to like what they do now. And I still don't think I know which one's which. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, Ant's the one with the big forehead.
Ant's the one with the big... Which one's got a big... The dark hair?
Yeah, the one got done for drink driving.
Oh yeah, not the small
one. Not the small one, Declan Donnelly.
So Declan Donnelly. Right, okay. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But yeah, no, I'd love to do their job. I'd love to do their job, and I'd love to do lots of other people's jobs on the telly.
I would.
There's so many things I could do. So, but got to get there first. But yeah, London is not a place I'd like to live, but if I had to, I would, I suppose.
Yeah.
Last one for this week, and I think this one is going to really divide us.
I hate it when you start that. Oh, this one's going to really divide. Oh, this one's going to really stir someone up. And go on anyway.
It's a two-part question. Yeah. The first part is, do you believe in ghosts? Which is going to divide us anyway. Yeah. The second part, I can see where it's going to head, and it is, what do you think happens to you when you die? So, here we go. So let's start. I think we both know that you're sceptical when it comes to ghosts. Yeah. I'm a bit of a believer, really. I'm still I'm still sceptical up to a point, but we'll get to that in a minute. You go first.
Yeah, I'm massive sceptic. We've been out with paranormal people, haven't we? So, but nothing's really happened. We've heard things, but is that just as mind playing tricks? Are we wanting to hear things? So we imagine we hear things?
But what do you want to happen? If you went and did that, what would you want to happen? Fucking Slimer from Ghostbusters come and slime you?
Yeah.
What exactly would you want to happen?
Physical that I can either see.
We had like a stone thrown. That's physical.
Yeah, but was it a stone or was it something else? Was it just...
We don't know. It could have been a bird shitting,
yeah,
I suppose,
it could have been like a rat or a mouse just dislodging a stone as it's running across.
I get that.
I want something to see something physical, literally in front of me, or something happen to me. Either someone touch me, scratch me. I'm not saying bloody fighters type of thing, but I just want something to happen physically with me, not in a weird sort of way. But
you don't want a ghost to bum you. Is what you're saying,
I don't want to reenact the Entity film from quite a few years ago, but
I have no idea what that film is. So why was this?
It's supposed to be based on
ghost raping?
Yeah, it's supposed to be based on a true story, but there you go. But I just want, something to grab me, push me. I don't know, anything.
I get it. No, I do get it. But I don't know. I just think that there's so many people. I suppose we're going back to the aliens thing from last week, but there's so many people that claim to have seen ghosts or had experience with ghosts, and I am one of those people. I would include myself, even though I haven't seen anything. I feel like I've been part of something that is totally unexplainable, and the only explanation is that there was a ghost in my house right now.
But I know you sent me the video of was it the calendar or something that was swaying?
Yeah, that was my stepdaughter from when I was married back in the day, and she absolutely freaked out because she was laid on a bed and all of a sudden the calendar just started moving up and down, up and down. And if I can find a clip of that, I will include it in the video. I don't know if I've still got it though. But the main thing for me was when my oldest daughter was 2 years old, and she's now, it's her 15th birthday in a couple of weeks' time, so it's quite a while ago. But when she was 2, we had the bathroom redecorated, so we stripped everything off the walls, and she kept saying, "Daddy, there's a man there and he's dead and he's got a cat." And I thought, like, obviously she's 2, she's got a good imagination. You thought it were weird, obviously, but I didn't really think very much of it. So then everything was redecorated and she stopped talking about it. So you just think, oh, it's something that she's thought about and she's been saying it. 2 years later, when Katie was 4, and Amy, who had just been born when that happened the first time, we had the bathroom redone again, and she said to me, "Daddy, there's a man there and he's dead and he's got a cat." And I just remember the colour draining out my face, and I felt cold and horrible because there was no way that Amy could have possibly known what Katie had said, and there's no way that Katie would have remembered either to like tell her about it. So for me, and even more recently than that, Freddie, who's now 4, he used to sort of talk about a cat, and he didn't talk about him being dead, and he didn't talk about, like, it was in the same room, but he never really pointed to anything. So I just don't know whether he saw anything either, but it's just all a bit odd, bit too weird. Odd for me. I think it's too close for it to, and that's the other thing as well. So you know the calendar that's going up and down?
Yeah.
That was on the wall which linked to the bathroom, and that bathroom used to be one big bedroom. So that middle wall where the calendar was hanging was actually a false wall that had been put in to make a bathroom inside, because they're old terraced houses. It was built in 1901, this house, and the bathroom, or the toilet, sorry, was outside before, so they'd made it into a bathroom. So actually that would have been the same room that it's all happening in. Weird.
Yeah, I've never had such experiences. So, like I said,
No, but you
unless something-
know that I wouldn't lie about something like that to you.
yeah.
So even with that, would you not have any belief in it at all?
No. Yeah.
Real?
I mean, I watched loads of things. You know, I used to watch Soul Reapers quite a lot, and Most Haunted, and things like that.
Most Haunted's bollocks.
I know.
Load of shit.
You know what I mean? It's just some like glorified TV program in it where people just jump. You never see anything, never really hear anything.
This is it, and I think a lot of these programs, they don't actually make you believe in ghosts.
No.
They make you not believe because they're so far fucking fetched. It's just stupid.
And I think until, like I said, something really happens in front of my eyes, or I feel something, then I just won't believe. Sorry, all you paranormal people out there. But
Should we do some more paranormal stuff then?
I would. I'd like to do some paranormal stuff, just so something would happen. I think that's what it is. I'm the eternal optimist. I do want something to happen, but
Until you've seen it, you don't believe
exactly.
it. I get it.
Yeah.
Like I want to stay over in St Joe's overnight. I'd love to do that. I think that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I'm taking Sue.
Yeah, we could. Although I'd be more worried about what you two were going to get up to than all else. But anyway,
Bit of howling going off.
Yeah. The second half of the question, though, this is where I think it will get even more sort of heated, because I knew what you were going to say to the ghost thing. But what do you think happens when you die?
Nothing. You just worm food.
So there's this consciousness goes to nowhere. There is nothing after this. It's just a chemical reaction. We are just a living organism, and then we're not. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's simple as that. I mean, there's no proof to where we go. So I know it's saying, oh, people died and they come back and they turn into ghosts and things like that. If you don't believe in ghosts, you don't believe in the afterlife, do you? So
yeah, but you're skeptical about the ghost. That doesn't mean so. That does that not mean you're skeptical about like what happens after you die?
yeah, I just don't see how anything can become of you, if you know what I mean. I just don't know. It's like aliens, and it's just one of those things.
So that brings us swiftly to religion.
Oh God.
I knew you weren't looking forward to this. But yeah, religion, and obviously there's many different beliefs. And one of them is, and a massive amount of people believe in this, is reincarnation. There has been quite a few cases of people where they've died, and on the same day or within a couple of days, like another child's been born.
That's just coincidence.
No, obviously there's always going to be somebody else born within a few seconds of you dying. I don't mean that. I mean that they've said, oh yeah, I used to live with Jim and Margaret at Chippy down in Royston. Do you know what I mean? They knew where they'd lived before. They remembered what had happened to them, and they knew something terrible had happened, and they'd not passed over. They'd gone on to another life, that sort of thing. Where do you stand on that?
Same as life after death, I suppose.
So you just think it's a bag of bollocks? You just think there's nothing in it at all? But what about these people that can explain everything about the family that they'd lived with before?
I don't know about that. Not going to say it's a crock of shit, but
I'm not saying I believe it either, but
it's a crock of shit.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Just, how can that happen? How can that be like that? And I don't know what to think. And also, I don't want to get too deep into religion itself, but like, you've got your heaven and hell and things like that as well. Like, do you feel like you can be a bad person all your life and it makes no fucking difference in the end? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the old film from 1950s, 60s. It's the greatest story ever told, isn't it? I think that's all it is with religion, about Jesus and God.
I've never explained, because I don't know what this film you're speaking of.
Well, it's a film from 50s or 60s. It was called The Greatest Story Ever Told, and it's all about Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's all it is. That's all it is. And I think that's all religion is just one big story. I think it's just been added upon and added on and added on through over time.
I'm religious. I class myself as religious. However, I think that the Bible is generally, I don't want to say it's a bag of bollocks because that will offend people, but what I think it is a load of morality tales, a load of little stories put together to make people be better people, and I think that's brilliant. There's nothing wrong with that, telling people how to live their life in a better way. Don't get me wrong, some of the stories in there, like stoning gay people to death, they're probably not the ideas that you should be following, but there's a lot of ideas in the Bible that are fantastic and brilliant and should be followed, but for me it's just a storybook. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe in some sort of higher being, because I think I do.
Yeah, but if religion was the all good, all singing, all dancing, why has it killed more people than any other thing?
I agree, but that
religion's the cause of more deaths than I don't know what. And if it was,
is religion the problem or is the people the problem?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's more religion because.
No, but without being specific in a religion, but does any religion say within their text go and kill another religion? Because it doesn't.
No, it probably
exactly.
Doesn't,
so that means it's the people, not the religion. The religion is generally in every religion is a good thing. It's like love your neighbour, make sure that everyone's all right, and like, do you know what I mean? It's the people that then twist it to make it something it's not. They're the issue.
Yeah, it's like Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland. Obviously, they hate each other.
So not being specific, then. Yeah.
But you know what I mean. It's just
I get.
It's just one of that. If religion was all good and they said love thy neighbour, why? If people are religious,
like I said,
and they do believe in all this, why are they wanting to cause a rift between other people?
Where did the Catholic and Protestant come from? Protestant came from Henry VIII going, you know what, I want to have a divorce. The Pope says I can't have a divorce, so I'm just gonna shag who I want and do what I want. So that's where Protestant came from in the first place.
I must be one of them.
What, because you like Henry VIII? I suppose you've had a couple of wives. You've not had as many as him, though.
Not yet. Plenty of time.
Anyway, I don't want to get too too far into religion. We always said we were going to try and avoid it. But so you're basically saying you think that that's it, you're dead, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't. I think there's got to be more than that. I think if they're in, it's pretty shit. It's a bit wank, isn't it?
You're dead anyway. It's going to be shit, isn't it? It's not going to be a barrel of laughs, is it?
I want it to be. Have you ever seen A Dog's Life?
No.
Or A Dog's Summer?
Bollocks.
Basically, it's this dog that is a puppy, and then it grows up, and it's got an owner, and he loves the owner, and then he dies, and then he goes on to another owner who's horrible to it. Like he gets reincarnated into another dog and keeps going, and ends up with the original owner when he's really old. And I want life to be like that. I want it to be like that. I want to live lots and lots of lives, and then find my way back to my original owner.
That's a Stephen King film, that. It's got to be. There's a Stephen King film in the making. It's Pet Sematary. It's got to be. It's got to be something like that. Cujo.
No, it's lovely. It's lovely, and I don't know. I've heard of Cujo, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's just a film where a dog turns rabid and starts killing people.
Yeah, there's no killing. There's no killing. Although I think the dog does get killed by an horrible owner at one point. But I don't know. It was a good film though, really good film. Right, so that's us pretty much done. So just to sum up this one, we don't shag sex dolls. We would like to be Ant and Dec, but we don't want to live in central London. And you think that there isn't ghosts and you die and you're dead, and I think there is ghosts and you die and you're
dead.
Something else. Well, you are dead, but I think you're something else.
So, you come back as something.
I think you come back as something, but I don't know what. So that's about it. So once again, like I say every week, any videos, questions that you want us to sort of do, just send me a message at matt@findersbeepers.co.uk. I will have a look across those, and like I said, the best ones, the ones that are going to make the best content, I will choose. So if you don't get picked out, I am sorry. Keep sending questions in though. It doesn't mean that you've only got to send one in. I can't speak. I don't know what's happened. Yeah, one in. But yeah, anything you want to add?
No, just thanks for the questions. Just keep them coming in. Some really, really good ones this week.
There is
controversial ones, but didn't want to go too far into that. But
I like controversy, but I just don't want to get too far into religion. What's the other one now? Politics.
Politics. Don't really send anything about politics, just
Yeah, and what's the other? I think there's 3 things I didn't want to talk about, but yeah, try and stay away from them. But other than that, happy to answer it. You know what? If you send it in, we'll probably answer it if it's a good question. So don't hold back, and just try and think of things that's going to cause chaos between us, because that's always the best, I think.
Yeah, just don't wind me up, because I might say things that I might regret.
You always do. Right, thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be sure to subscribe and press that bell icon for all the latest updates.